Fianna Fáil's presidential candidate Jim Gavin attended the party's Think-In in Douglas in County Cork this afternoon. There, Taoiseach Micheál Martin strongly criticised local authorities for dragging their heels on zoning land for housing, adding that the government was running out of patience.
The Taoiseach had only just arrived at a meeting of his parliamentary party in Cork when he was engaged by Antoinette Burke. Her 18-year-old daughter Katie requires surgery for hip dysplasia, she said, which costs €300,000 in Florida.
And nobody in this country will do anything for her. Katie needs help.
Okay.
And I can't stand by. When you are on 7 here, you're going in there to talk about healthcare, and this is your legacy.
Well, again, look, I'll have to talk to the consultants involved here as to why they've made the decision not to do the surgery, or why they feel.
Well, if you ask your secretary, she has every file.
I know that, but
from 2010 up to.
But the minister can't direct the surgeon to do surgery.
At a news conference afterwards, Mr Martin said he was shocked at an incomprehensible decision by Wicklow County Council to de-zone land earmarked for the construction of up to 3,000 homes.
The government will intervene. The government is not happy with chief executive officers of county councils, the length and breadth of the country, who seem to be displaying a degree of inertia and lack of proactivity in terms of rezoning land, never mind dezoning land. We have a housing crisis in this country.
As Fianna Fáil TDs, MEPs and senators discussed policy, the party's presidential candidate was asked about his state of knowledge of emotional abuse, physical torture and bullying directed against women in the Defence Forces when he wore the uniform.
You know, in the environment that I created, any time I was in the command position, I set very high standards. If I had any sense of that, I would have taken very strong action.
The presidential candidate said that the government's record on delivering housing in Ireland is not good enough, needs to be improved, and he will be vocal in keeping up the pressure if elected.
Well, Paul is in Cork for us now. So, Paul, we saw Jim Gavin in your report there. How did he fare today under that media scrutiny?
I suppose it really fell into three categories. The first related to Fianna Fáil. He is, after all, the Fianna Fáil presidential candidate. And so journalists were asking him, did he support Fianna Fáil in everything that it does? Does he support Fianna Fáil in relation to housing policy? Does he believe that Housing Minister James Browne is doing a good idea? As you heard there, he kicked a touch. He said that more needed to be done. And what he felt was that if he was elected president, he could become someone who was an advocate, keeping the pressure on the government to do what needed to be done. The second thing he was picked up on what he had said in the past, and most recently it related to controversial comments in the context of Gaza. He'd said that it was abhorrent that bombing was continuing there, but at the same time, particularly because he felt that the military objectives had been achieved. And that comment did cause controversy. Today he said, I want to be clear, genocide is taking place in Gaza, and the Israeli government is guilty of war crimes, the bombing needs to stop, the aid needs to get in, and the hostages need to get out. The third thing was his personal record, that time that he spent in the Defence Forces, and the question of women of honour. And he was asked, well, had he not seen any of this abuse which so many women are now coming out and talking about and is the subject of a tribunal? He said he admired their courage, he backed the tribunal of what it was going to do, but he intimated that he hadn't seen that, and had he seen it, he would have taken action. I think Jim Gavin expects more of the same over the next 6 weeks.
Paul Cunningham in Cork for us this evening. Thank you.